Hi everyone, my name's Mallory. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here today to help me choose my September TBR. I was excited to do this video and I kind of played around with a couple of different ideas. I liked a previous video I did where I chose a summer TBR because then it was like I could choose a lot of books and I could cover them over months worth of time, because sometimes I can be kind of a mood reader, but I thought it would be kind of fun to do a monthly TBR this time instead. So I'm going to do it similarly to the way I did in that previous video, which if you haven't checked out that video, be sure to check it out because soon I'm going to be doing a wrap up of my summer reading where I revisit that and see how many books from that TBR I ended up reading. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to go check that video out. So anyways, I'm gonna do something a little bit similar where I'm going to be spinning the random wheel number generator to get a specific prompt, and then I'll be choosing some books for that specific prompt. But then I also might throw in a couple books of my choice outside of those prompts, just because one thing I really love doing as it gets into the fall months is mood reading for the season, and I'm really starting to get the fall vibes itch. So I am hoping to get some prompts that I can choose some fall books for, but if I don't, I want a little bit of wiggle room on the end to choose some fall related books if I don't get them through the prompt. Does that make sense? I think it does. So I'm going to start by spinning the wheel to see what book prompts we get, and then after we find out all the prompts, I will choose some books off of my shelves and I will explain them to you and show you my final list of books for my September TBR. Now I went kind of back and forth on how many books I wanted to choose in total for the month, and I think that I'm going to choose 5 books for the month. I typically read about 5 books a month, and so I want to make sure that it is something that's attainable. I'm gonna start by saying 3 out of the 5 will be from the prompt list, but depending on how it's going, maybe I'll add a 4th one, and then like the 5th one will be a free choice book. Let's see what we get from the prompt wheel. Also, maybe you noticed this amazing reader sweatshirt. I got this from a shop that I discovered on Instagram called The Common Room. I love all of her products that she sells. I wish I could buy all of them, but I don't have money for that. But when I got this one in the mail, I was so excited. It is so soft on the inside and such good quality. Go hit her up on Instagram, buy some of her stuff. She has super cute book themed merchandise, things like Percy Jackson, the Throne of Glass series, and then just in general like reader and book lover merch. So that's why I got this one. And I don't really have a lot of V-neck sweatshirts, so I felt like I could really justify it for my collection. But yeah, go to her Instagram, check it out, buy some stuff from her. She's amazing and like the nicest person ever. All right, so just a reminder, there are 50 prompts on this list and it is spanning a wide variety of topics, genres, authors. I have a couple free choice options in there as well. And I'm going to do it in a way where I don't repeat a prompt. So if I finished a book from a specific prompt, the number is completely removed from the list. I'm not gonna tell you which ones specifically have been removed because that would spoil things for my next video. But if I also get a prompt that has been used in the last video, I'm gonna skip that as well. Even if it's one that I did not read yet, I'll just put that number back in for future months. So let's start with our first prompt. I just have a random number generator pulled up on my iPad right now, and I'm going to click it. Let's see what we get. Okay, the first prompt is number 39, and number 39 is a cover that matches the color of my shirt. Okay, I'm wearing gray, and I don't know if I have a lot of books that have gray covers, so we'll see what I can scrounge up for that one. All right, let's see what the next number is going to be. It is going to be prompt number 41, which is a book that's rated 4.0 or higher on Goodreads. I feel like that kind of opens up my options a lot, and I have some books in mind that I want to read for this month. So I'm hoping that I can look them up and see, and maybe, fingers crossed, they will be above a 4.0. I think it's so fun spinning this wheel or like clicking this number generator. It's kind of like addicting, whereas like I just want to keep going. Like maybe I won't do 2 free choice books. Maybe I'll just choose all 5 books this way. I don't know. There's just something about it that's so satisfying. I don't know. The next number I got was 48, and prompt 48 is a book from an author that I have never read before. That one is really intriguing to me. Again, I feel like I have a lot of books on my physical TBR, and there's definitely some that are standing out in my mind from authors that I haven't read yet. So again, I feel like that kind of opens it up pretty good. I'm excited for that one. Next is number 4, and that is a prompt that I had last time. The prompt was a book from one of my favorite authors, and I ended up choosing Deep End by Ali Hazelwood for that one. I always have to shout out Ali Hazelwood when I get the chance. I love her writing so much. So I'm not gonna do that prompt number because I had it in the previous month, and again, I'm not gonna tell you if I read that book or not yet, but you'll have to stick around and find out. The next prompt that I just spun is number 30, and number 30 is a book that I've been wanting to read for over a year. I definitely have some books that are going to satisfy that prompt. And you know what? While we're at it, I'm at 4 books. I'm just gonna spin again for the 5th book because, again, I'm having fun doing it. So far the prompt like numbers that I've gotten are providing me with some books that I could do some mood reading with. So yeah, I'm down. We'll see how it goes. The one I just spun is number 25, which is a fantasy book, and that's perfect because I had a fantasy book that I actually really wanted to read this month. So I'm excited that I can pick that one for it. So right now I'm gonna go and gather all of my book choices, and then I will come back in like 1 second in your time, and I will walk you through what books I choose for each prompt. Okay, I am so excited for the book choices for this month. These prompts were like working for me so well. Like the stars were aligning because I was able to put books in this pile that I was wanting to read this month anyway. So I am ecstatic about my choices and I cannot wait to share them with you. So the first prompt was a book whose cover matches my shirt. I'm wearing gray, and this book cover has a lot of gray on it. It's not entirely gray, But the book that I chose for this prompt is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I have been really excited to read this book. I feel like I've seen it buzzing all over social media for such a long time now. It is a fantasy book, and let me just read you a little bit from the back. It says, "For humans and vampires, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart." This is going to be giving me like such good fall vibes. I feel like I'm excited to read this because I kind of forgot that it had vampires in it, and my friends and I just watched Twilight, and it was 2 out of the 3 of us. It was our first time ever watching the movies, and I did not grow up reading the books, so it was a really fun experience for me, and now I'm kind of on a little vampire kick. So this one's gonna be super fun. The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Again, I've heard so many good things about this on social media, and I'm really excited. I've been wanting to get to it for a while, and there's at least a second book in this series now. I don't know if there's more, but I love reading a good series because once I finish the first one, I feel like almost every single time I end up wanting to keep immersing myself in that world. So I'm excited to give this one a shot, and yeah, it's got a lot of gray on it, right? The second book prompt that I got was a book that has a 4.0 or higher on Goodreads, and honestly, it kind of surprised me that this book has higher than a 4.0 rating, but at the same time, it didn't surprise me because it has such a big fan base. This book comes in at a 4.49 star average on Goodreads, and it is Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. I have been preaching the Windy City series praises for quite a while now on my Instagram. I have been really obsessed with this series this year. This is the 5th book, I believe, in the series. There's Mile High, Play Along, and I'm going in the wrong order, I know that. The Right Move, and Caught Up, and then this is the next one, the most recent one, Rewind It Back. I actually just recently got this in the mail because I wanted to purchase these specific covers before they go out of print. She's actually switching to a different style, and so these Skyline covers are not going to be made anymore, and I personally like these covers more than the new ones that are coming out. So I recently purchased this, and all of the other books in the series I've read on my Kindle, so I'm kind of excited to read this as a physical copy. When I kind of page through the inside, there are some like interesting chapter graphics, like so. So I'm excited to read this one physically and again, lose myself in this world. If you don't know anything about this series, it is a sports romance series. They all could stand alone, but they are interconnected. So all of the different couples are either teammates or in a big group of friends. So they all have a little bit different of a trope as well. This one, I believe, is supposed to be a either second chance romance or a friends to lovers, like childhood friends to lovers, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And this, I also think I heard, is the final book in the series. So it's kind of sad that the series is going to be coming to an end, but I'm really glad that it qualifies for this prompt. Again, I did not really expect it to get a 4.49 rating. I thought maybe it would be like a 3.9 or a 4.0, but they're just so fun and entertaining that I can see why fans of this series would rate it so highly. The next book is one that I have been wanting to read for so long, but I just have never, I don't know if thinking to pick it up is the right word. Like, I don't know if it's that I never think to pick it up, or if it's like I just end up being more drawn to something else instead. But this one is satisfying the prompt of a book from an author that I have not read before, and that book is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I have heard such amazing things about this book, which is why I've been wanting to read it for so long. But again, for some reason, I just don't think to pick it up. I think that it was kind of tucked a little too far down on my shelves, which is maybe why I don't immediately see it and grab it. But I like it because it's a little bit shorter than some of the other more like fantasy or romance books, specifically the two that I've already shown. It's shorter than those, so it'll hopefully be a little bit of a breath of fresh air either between or before or after those other two. But the 7-Year Slip, I kind of already know a little bit about the plot, but nothing's really been spoiled for me. I'm just going to give you a little bit of the synopsis from the back. I'm gonna kind of like piece some lines together so I don't have to read the entire thing. But basically it is about a girl named Clementine who has kind of been coasting along, it seems, for a little while. She's a book publicist and she's been really serious about her job, and eventually she ends up moving into her late aunt's apartment, and it says she finds a strange man standing in the kitchen. But then it says that when she sees him, her plans fall apart because he seems like the kind of guy that she would typically fall for. And then it says, except he exists in the past, 7 years in the past to be exact, and she quite literally lives 7 years in his future. I love this idea of the apartment being kind of magical with time travel. It reminds me a little bit of another book that I read. I think it was just called The Apartment. But it was about a woman who had a magical attic in her. Oh no, it was called The Husbands. She has a magical attic, and when the husband goes into the attic, a new, different husband comes out of the attic, and she has like an entirely different life. This is giving similar-ish vibes, but I've heard this one is just absolutely amazing. So I'm excited to give this a shot, and I know a lot of people really like Ashley Poston's writing, so I am hoping that this will be a good start to reading some more of her catalog. The next book prompt was a book that I've been wanting to read for over a year, and I probably purchased this book at least, and this is so embarrassing to say, 5 years ago. I am pretty sure actually that I bought this 5 years ago. I was like, oh, I wonder when it came out. And this specific edition at least says 2020. So this has been a long time coming. This is a book that is really popular, and it's one of those ones that I think is gonna set me up for a good fall vibes, specifically in the month of September leading into October. It seems to be a little bit more of a spooky story. It is a Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I, again, have been wanting to read this for a comically long amount of time. I'm seeing now also this is mostly gray. This could have gone for that prompt too. But it says, this is the story of an investigation turned obsession. I'm pretty sure this is a YA book, but the topic seems kind of heavy, at least From the title seems kind of heavy. I don't know a ton about it. It sounds like it surrounds a murder and someone is trying to maybe get to the bottom of it. It's giving vibes from a couple other books that I've read, but I have heard this one twists this tale and weaves it together in a really good way. So I'm excited, and I think too there's a TV show about this book, and I think there's more books in the series too. I think it's a series. Let me know in the comments if that is true for both those things. And the final book is one that I'm really excited for. This is the one that I had in mind when I said that I wanted to have some free choice books, because this is the one book that I really wanted to read this month. It's been on my TBR for a while now. I purchased the physical copy of the book a couple months ago, and I have not only seen so much buzz for it on social media, but I've also had some conversations with some book girlies on Instagram sharing how much they love this book. So I am so excited that this one satisfied my fantasy prompt. It is One Dark Window. I cannot wait to read this book. I've been wanting to read it for so long, and I'm so happy it's finally time. It says on the back here, Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. And then on the front it says Maiden Monster Martyr. I just think that that little tidbit of information is so intriguing to me. It's hooking me in immediately. And I've heard that this one and the second book as well, I think it's just a duology. I've heard that both are fantastic. So I'm so excited to read this. It seems like it's going to be magical, but also kind of spooky, which is exactly the September vibes I was looking for. I love fall and Halloween, and so I am so excited to get into that zone with some more fantasy reads like this, some darker fantasy. I just feel like it sets the tone so well for me, getting ready for those months when I'm reading something that matches the vibe. So I am so happy that I was able to fulfill this prompt with this book. All right, there you have it. These are my 5 books that I'm going to try to read in September. We have The Serpent and the Wings of Night, Rewind It Back, The 7-Year Slip, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and One Dark Window. I am really pleased with the way that this turned out. I feel so lucky from the prompts that were given to me that I was able to choose these 5 fantastic, highly rated books for my TBR. Thanks again for checking out this video. I hope that you will subscribe and stick around to see my reading and see if I will read all of these books in September. Please make sure to drop some book recommendations in the comments. What do you think I need to read next? Have you read any of these, and which one should I start with? Thanks again for checking out this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!